Marvet, that you wanted to do this film after Vierge de Tueur,
Oui,
to do a more
c'est
typical
un
Hollywood type of
thriller,
film?
un suspense
Yes, it's a
très
thriller, a
psychologique.
suspense thriller, a
Plus c'est
psychological thriller.
psychologique, plus on a
And
affaire à des
the more
performances d'acteurs.
psychological it is, the
Et
more we
c'est
need
ça
to
que
have
j'aime.
good performances
J'ai
from the
pu
actors, and
avoir
that's
la
what I
chance
like.
de
And I was
travailler avec
fortunate
une
enough to
très grande
work
actrice, une
with
très
a
grande
very great actress, a very great star. You like to push them into the role, you want to explore what
Je
things
pense
which have
qu'elle
not
avait
been done yet
fait
in the cinema.
des thrillers,
I think, of course, Sandra's already done a thriller, The Net,
certainement, dans ce personnage,
but
il y
in
avait
this character,
une fragilité
there was a
mélangée
certain
à
fragility
une espèce
mixed
de
with
force un peu masculine.
a
C'était
masculine
une
sort of
combinaison
strength,
unique.
and this was a unique combination. Sandra, what did you like about the character, this mix of fragility and strength?
Well, usually, I'm not used to microphones. Usually roles like this are written for men. They're usually allowed to do more complex and dirty and unattractive, not physically unattractive, but emotionally unattractive roles, which is, it's rare to read something for a woman like that. So I think any actress, if this had come along, would probably have jumped at it. And you know what you're going to get with Barbet. He's wonderfully twisted and dark, and you know he'll bring out the best in you.
Police scientifique, c'est quelque chose que vous aimez, ça.
Do you like this, the forensic science? This is the modern policeman who, with a few clues, manages to find the traces of the murderers. Are you interested in that? Not just for preparations for the roles, but as an individual, you yourself.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, with modern technology, especially what we see on television these days, you have access to all murder mysteries, live channels, history channels, where you see everything from operations to forensic science to what policemen do. And I think it's almost like, I think it's in human nature to want to see accidents happen, to see things uncovered, murder. That's why I think murder mysteries are so good. So I think, I enjoy the science of the forensic science, but each year it gets more and more intricate. Within a couple years, I don't think they'll ever be able to be the perfect crime, but forensic science is such a new science that each year something else is developed that's incredibly fascinating. I became very obsessed with it. I loved it. Yeah.
Et très souvent sur le tournage, elle me disait ce qu'elle avait vu la veille à la télévision.
Yes, often she told me what she'd seen on the television, which had something to do with the latest developments in this science, because there are many programs on TV dealing with this. And that does interest you too, Barbet? Yes, I think it's very exciting. It makes us use our imagination, and we had a lot of specialists on the spot, and we discussed this with them. And it's very interesting to find out how we can deduct numerous things just from some small details.
I didn't really have a lot of preparation with him, but I feel like I wanted to do it for kind of, in a weird way, the same reasons that Sandy did, in the sense where they don't really write characters that have meat, that are really, that have depth to them, that are kids.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, for me, it was an opportunity to work with Sandy and Barbet and Ryan, and, you know, I wasn't going to say no.
On vous a découvert dans deux films formidables l'année dernière.
We discovered you in two great films at the Festival of Deauville, Billy, Edwig and the Angry Inch. You were great. So to move from the independent cinema to mainstream cinema, even though Barbet Schroeder claims that he's an independent director, you've moved to a more American type film or a Hollywood film. Was that a big change for you?
It was a big change, but I think for me and Ryan, it was probably the closest we could get to doing a studio movie that's an independent director, and Barbet is, you know. I think if we do a big studio movie, I think we'll have a rude awakening, you know, because I didn't really feel that on the set.
Ryan?
Well, and Barbet had just come off of Our Lady of the Assassins, so
yes, Barbet had just done Our Lady of the Assassins.
Peg him down. He's doing everything, and you know we really got lucky. First of all, that he's there, so. But he took a chance on us, you know. He didn't have to hire, you know, guys that people aren't coming to the movie to see us because you know we're in it. But he really gave us a shot, and it was a great opportunity.
J'ai fait le pari que c'était les acteurs de demain.
Well, I took a bet that you would be the future stars. I took a risk, but I was betting on you. Well, I don't think it was a great risk.
dans ce film.
Yes, they are great in this room, but they were in Edwig and the Angry Inch and Donnie Belling. That made you want to work with them? No, it's when I met them. That's what made me want to work with them. I saw The Believer, which Ryan had done. He played the main role in that. No, I'd already seen them work. I looked at their internet site. They each had their own internet site.
Oh no.
Was it my work on Miss Congeniality that made you believe I could do this role? Is that what it was? Yeah, I can see why.
Justement, on aborde totalement différemment une comédie.
Yes, it must be very different doing a thriller after a comedy. You just mentioned Miss Detective. Is the approach the same?
Well, I think preparation is always the approach, whether you're doing comedy or drama. But I think once I do a comedy, the last thing I want to do again is a comedy. I say I'll never do a comedy again. It's nice that I have the option. Sometimes people who do comedy don't get the option to do drama, and I'm lucky that I do. But to find the right drama, especially in a psychological thriller, is really hard because generally the writing is not good. And the characters are shallow because there's major plot points or major pyrotechnics or something is bigger than the actors to sort of carry the story through. So, you know, I lucked upon this script. I think we all feel we got lucky with the script. But as Barbet was saying, I mean, they feel they got lucky, but you rarely find talent like this. So I felt lucky coming to work every day, and they made me better. So. Yeah, the preparation is the same, but the impulses and improvisation is completely different. I just can't fall over things in a serious film. So I wanted to, but Barbet said no. Yeah. As long as somebody directs me, I don't care what the method to the madness is. I mean, you'd be amazed at how often I find myself in situations where I won't be directed. I'd rather someone come in and change the perception of what I presented in the last film. And I like the fearlessness. Barbet's absolutely fearless, and he would manipulate certain situations. You didn't think we noticed, but we noticed. And you'd walk onto set, and you felt basically where you were in the script. He did half the work for you by establishing the feel by the time you arrived at work, which a lot of directors don't, but that's his specialty. And for a thriller, you need that because so much of the story is being told through the camera and through the shadows. And you as an actor don't always know what's going on or why he was doing it, so I would get a little frustrated with him. Yeah, I would get a little mad.
Barbet, votre présence à Cannes, ça a toujours un...
Barbet, your presence is Cannes. Is it always moving to be here?
Oui, bien sûr.
Yes, of course.
C'est des vieux souvenirs.
Because I have some memories. I used to come 16 years old when I was a film buff, so it's something which dates back a long time. Now you're here as a director. You've still got good memories? Yes. Always. What about going up the steps yesterday, Sandra? You went up the steps. What did you feel? How was that?
I feel a great sense of pride that I didn't fall, don't you? It's very intimidating. But what I noticed here, I was very afraid, but there's a sense of etiquette here that keeps everyone very polite, which it makes you feel better. It's overwhelming, but there is sort of a pomp and circumstance that keeps things on a nice level where you might be scared, but you enjoy it because people are generally kind, and so that's made it a lot easier for me. It was still scary though. It's very intimidating.
Ça l'est également pour vous. C'est intimidant.
Was it like this for you? Intimidating? Intimidating to go up the steps?
Oui.
Merci pour votre français parfait.
Yes. Thanks for speaking perfect French. French
I
is
was
great.
scared to step on Sandy's dress, and which I did a couple of times. I was warned beforehand, don't step on the dress. I did step on the dress, and that was my main concern, not to do that. So I was trying not to pay attention to everything else. But it was overwhelming, and
mostly I think we were just in the way, you know, because we were going down the red carpet, and the photographers are like, we can't film Sandy, get out of the way, get out of the way. So we're like running.